Welcome back to Two Marks and a Spark. We're finally back on track. We had a lot of technical issues and a lot of bullshit going, but we're back. Russ, we're here to talk about SummerSlam 2024 live from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
And man, it was hotter than hell there, and you could tell.
Yes. There's a little
This
warm
sh-
here, but I think it was a lot hotter there.
it was 98 here today. So I can only imagine what it was
It
there.
was cool for us. We only got up to about 90.
Yeah, that's really a cold wave coming through, you know?
That's right.
Russ, the show opened up with fucking Jelly Roll of all the goddamn people in the world.
Jelly Roll singing God Bless America.
I actually didn't think he did too bad on the God Bless America. It's when they started doing the live concert cut with the video package that I was just like, okay, can we?
I'm not familiar with his music. I heard
He's
him
good.
I heard him
He's
described
good.
as a country artist. I guess it
He's
was
good.
kind of country. Wasn't really country and western, but sort of like
He's
urban country, I guess.
he's good, but the problem was that I don't think they had the mic set up properly for what they were trying to do, and it just didn't sound very good on TV. What was great on television and great in the building was Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan.
Yes.
Russ,
Yes.
this
It
match was the perfect match to start the show.
was great. Very well paced. Everything in it made sense.
I I
Were you
could not.
surprised by the storyline? By
No,
the I was not,
I think it's what they needed to do because Dom needs to be a heel.
definitely.
Dominic is too good of a heel to be a babyface. As Pat McAfee said so eloquently tonight, that piece of shit.
As they said, go ahead. That's what he had. Go ahead and call him. That's right. That no good, lousy, loud down, worthless piece of shit. Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Stabbed poor Rhea in the back. And he's out there smooching, sucking face with Liv Morgan out there in front of God and everybody.
I
Shameless.
loved I loved Michael Cole's line. Has this been a ruse for months? What the hell's going on? So of
Yeah,
course this match ends with Dominic distracting the ref and Liv hitting the Oblivion on the chair. Then as you said, Liv and Dom started sucking face on the outside of the ring and they walked out.
that's right. Well,
And they hightailed it.
yes, they did. And that was it.
They
But
were not sticking around.
it was a good match. It was a good match, and it gives Rhea Ripley somewhere to go now as far as storyline, because I think it's going to have her obviously breaking away from the Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day's over, brother.
You know,
It's
anybody
over.
that's ever tried to lead the Judgment Day has gotten kicked in the back or kicked out and stabbed in the back, going up back. Wasn't it Edge that started the original group?
Yep. And he got
Back
whacked
before
in the back of the head.
he left for AEW.
But before that, he got whacked in the head 3 times.
It's not a group that you'd want to be a leader of.
Oh, and let's not forget when Edge left the Judgment Day, not only did he get whacked in the head with a chair, his wife also got whacked in the head with a chair.
That's right. That's right. I forgot all about that.
So, yeah, maybe don't leave the Judgment Day. Um, Sami Zayn defending the Intercontinental title against Braun Breaker. This was a lot more of a match than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, it was. I think it was probably definitely the shortest match of the night. And
Yeah,
you know, I'm not a fan of Braun Breaker's persona, such it is as it is. Didn't really have much of a persona at this
no,
point. But the way they've been putting him over, just obliterating everybody in sight, they had to. They just about had to have Sami Zayn drop the title, wouldn't you say? I don't see
yeah,
there's
but
I could have done it any other way.
Sammy put up a lot more of a fight than I think anybody really expect.
And
I think a
Sami
lot of
Zayn
people
has
that
been a hell of a good champion. Has had some, and even before this this IC title run, he had he's had a couple of years of really really outstanding matches.
I thought this would be like clothesline, spear, 1, 2, kick out, spear, 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 one, two,
Yeah,
three.
yeah. I think Braun Breaker probably gave Sami Zayn more than he would have been allowed to do if Vince McMahon were writing the script. It would have been like one of those 30-second matches if he'd been writing it.
But it was actually a very good match.
Yeah.
And
And
Breaker
Braun
ends up
Breaker,
winning.
what great talent. Very, very good. Then we had,
Well,
well, you want to talk about Logan Paul?
first of all, can I and I know we're not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to do any of that bullshit.
Sure.
Though there's plenty to talk about, I know. Trust
He
me.
is in the news outside of wrestling.
He is in the
Yeah.
news and for all the wrong reasons this week. Logan Paul
Yeah.
decided on Thursday to be a transphobic little bitch. And I don't know how
I
else
didn't
to say
hear
it,
about
but
this one.
okay, so he makes this, so I can't remember her name and I wish I could. He accused some boxer at the Olympics of being trans.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, she's not, but in the
Right.
midst of doing this, he makes a ton of transphobic comments and gets himself in trouble with WWE PR. When WWE PR calls him, reportedly, all he does is scream and yell.
Probably not good.
Folks, I don't
Yeah.
think Logan Paul was winning tonight, regardless. But if he was
Okay.
ever
Like he
going to
might need to
win,
take a little time away from the company.
but if he was ever going to win, after that little charade, no, he
Right.
was not.
Well, it was the group all that he came in with. There's never seen, he wasn't a wrestler, was he?
That was Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay, that's right. I've heard his name before. I still don't have any idea who the hell he is. He's Machine Gun Kelly. And this was the first, is this the first title that LA Knight has had since coming to the main roster?
Yes.
I believe he had a title in a reign in NXT.
He had the $1 million championship very briefly, and he also had, I believe, the North American championship. But the interesting thing about this match was this was really not that 50-50. LA Knight had a lot of offense here. And yeah, Logan got some shots in, but this was the LA Knight show, and LA Knight wins. And thank God he did.
That's right.
Get Logan Paul off my television. Speaking of get off my fucking television, this next match, Russ, I'm gonna let you get your thoughts about Nia Jax versus Bailey out
Wait
because
a minute. Wait, whoa, 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 wait a minute. You don't, you're skipping over our, our friends, Apollo and,
oh you want to talk
and
about the manscaping?
Otis. They were manscaping. Boy, I'm glad he used it on his belly instead of on his scrotum. I can only tell you that much. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't think.
Manscaping. They got to throw in some little comedy bullshit, you know.
Well, Manscaped paid a lot of money for that spot, so I
Yeah.
guess. Oh, Russ, I want you to tell
Okay.
me your thoughts on Nia Jax versus Bailey because I'm about to go on a rant. And
Okay, I'll just make a brief statement and then I'll let you say what I want. I think that I wasn't excited about Nia Jax becoming the champion, even though her skills are better than they used to be. I almost thought we were going to get to see Tiffany uh, betraying Nia, but that didn't work out. What makes sense is that I think that maybe Bailey wants some time off, or I haven't heard any talk about retirement or anything, but it would make sense if she doesn't want to wrestle for a while that put Nia Jax. But this was the part of the show that was the least satisfying to me was Nia Jax beating Bailey. Now you go
okay,
ahead and rant.
folks, I'm going to tell you why this is the dumbest fucking decision Triple H has ever made in his goddamn life. So, first of all, even if Bailey is taking time off, which we haven't heard that, so that's not for sure. But if that's not the case, then this is just profound stupidity. So Nia Jax wins this Queen of the Ring tournament, right? That was really good up until she won.
Right.
And then we
Exactly.
all and then we
Right
all
up until she
assumed,
won.
and
And
then
when
we
she
all
won with
assumed
she stole that finisher from Yokozuna, didn't
and
she?
then we all assumed
Bonsai drop.
because we have fucking logic and common sense that Bailey was gonna beat Nia Jax. Because Bailey is good at this. Nia Jax is not. It really was that simple.
Right.
But what the fuck do these idiots do? It's a fucking squash match. Nia basically kills her.
Yeah.
It was a 13-minute fucking squash.
Tiffany Stratton really they could have skipped that altogether. That didn't advance the storyline one bit.
So then they send poor Tiffany Stratton out there. And everybody thinks she's going to cash in, so it gets a massive pop because that means Nia's not winning.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. I thought, oh, they're going to put the title on Tiffany. Nope.
Which, if Bailey's not taking time off and you wanted to get the belts off her, Tiffany makes a world more sense.
Yeah. Well,
And then Nia hits that bonsai drop 3 fucking times
yeah.
and wins.
Yeah.
This was
That,
horrible.
this was the low point of the show. This was the middle
This
match.
sucked.
Yep.
I could not tell you one redeemable thing about this entire 14-minute segment.
If they would just would have left this out and given us just the 6 matches, it would have been fine with me. Or they could have thrown in a tag team match. I know they had the tag team matches on SmackDown on Friday night and didn't have any tag team stuff going on at all.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Hard.
Anyway, we then get to something far less reprehensible.
Yeah.
And far more entertaining, which was CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
With special guest referee, Iowa's own Seth Rollins. Let me tell you, this was very entertaining. I was not disappointed. I thought everybody played their role just perfectly. I'm very pleased with the way it turned out.
For sure. Punk lost.
Yes, he did. And he lost because of his own stupidity and his lack of focus. And he lost for doing the exact same things that he was always accusing Drew McIntyre of doing. Of losing getting emotional and losing his focus and losing because of it. And yeah, I thought the whole thing was very well done. I thought Seth Rollins was good in this role, and
I thought he was great.
the reason why he eventually got more mad at CM Punk at the end than he did at Drew McIntyre, it made sense because of what Punk was doing. Punk was just pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. It was great. This was very, very well done.
And Seth looked conflicted at the end, like he didn't like how it ended, but he wasn't going to like it no matter what. And then we have a whole bunch of stalling. And then finally, after Drew celebrates his beating CM Punk and taking the bracelet back, because Punk took it from him.
Right.
Then Seth had it.
Yep.
Punk got mad because Seth had it. And then Seth got mad at Punk because he doesn't fucking like him. So Drew wins off of Claymore. And then we had some stalling. And then we have A surprisingly great match.
How
Damian
did you
Priest defending against Gunther.
Gunther? This was really good. This was good.
This
He
was
got
this was sneaky
Gunther
match of the night.
got more of a match than he was expecting. That made it look like that. Damian Priest did really well.
And it looked like Priest might actually have a chance, but he hits South of Heaven. And Finn Balor, who'd come out about a quarter of the way through the match, puts Gunther's foot on the rope. That son of a bitch turns heel.
Just like that
And
no good rotten Dominic, now that no good rotten Finn Balor, that two-faced little snake in the grass son of a bitch.
and
So Damian
this
Priest
crowd
is
was
out of the Judgment Day and out of a title.
this crowd was really behind Priest.
Yes.
But when Gunther won, it kind of felt like a sigh of relief. Like a okay, they made the right decision.
Yep.
Like they didn't shy away from pulling the trigger here.
No, they didn't. And
And
plus then, it's not just a loss for Damian, but now you've got more storyline ongoing with the Judgment Day that will keep that's what's going to keep people tuning in to see what the latest chapter of the drama is on Monday night. Just like everybody will tune in Friday night to see what's going on with the Bloodline.
Gunther is the world heavyweight champion,
Got
and
busted
he's
a
not.
little open on his chest. Those chopped, he got chopped open on the chest, pretty bloody.
Yeah, both of them did, and that's why part of the reason this was so good. It was a heavyweight fight, and they treated it like it. And then we have more stalling with the Miz and
Right,
R-Truth. This gets cut off by Waller and Theory,
right.
and at this point, I'm just in a blind rage
Jelly roll.
because here comes fucking Jelly Roll again. And I'm just like, this guy's been on the show 3 fucking times tonight.
But Austin Theory uh performed a choke slam 100% entirely on himself with Jelly Roll this holding his neck, and the wrestler did everything. The guy, he didn't even move. He just, yeah.
He never picked him up. He never did anything.
No,
Theory just
he just stood there like a big blob, which is probably,
Theory just
that's about all I could do too.
Theory just jumped, and that's all Theory did.
Yeah, what's Theory? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't
And then
remember
they
for
did a
sure if it's
15
Grayson
knuckle
Waller or
shuffle on
not, but
him. And then we get to the main event, which I don't think anybody was particularly excited for coming in, but coming out, I think you're a little more excited about it. Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship.
right,
And coming into this, I think there was a nervous tension about what if they actually put the belt on Solo.
right.
It was a very
Well,
quiet little.
they had in the storyline on Friday night on SmackDown, they had designated this as being a bloodline rules match. So I right away began to suspect that we were going to see some unexpected people showing up, which we did. But at first it was just Cody and Solo Sikoa with nobody else for quite a while, and a pretty
A
even match.
shocking amount of time. A shocking amount of time.
It went on for quite a long. Oh, and in the meantime, you want the entrance was interesting because like I said, we got to see Arn Anderson backstage. I don't know why he didn't come out with. That would have been nice for him to make the entrance with Cody, but they didn't
Yeah.
do it that way.
So Cody does this whole entrance from his bus with Pharaoh and then Arn. I liked the bus entrance. I thought it was good, and I thought the Arn bit was really good. But why
Yep.
was Arn not just out there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to be.
So anyway, Cody comes out. He has that same mask he had on at WrestleMania
Right.
that he didn't put on till right before he walked out of the curtain. And this match was 60% Solo Sokoa, 30% Cody Rhodes, and 10% hog shit.
Yeah. And it took a while for
Every
anybody else to show up, but the Sons of Haku were the first to show up and begin interfering right at a point where it looked like Cody was gaining the advantage.
yeah,
And we've
and
got
then
Toma
Jacob Fatu.
and
No, wait.
Tonga.
Before Jacob Fatu comes out, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes come back. Kevin
Right.
Owens looks like he's lost 25 pounds of weight in the last 3 weeks. What the hell?
Yeah,
He
he
looked
did look
way
pretty.
thinner.
Yes. And
And
so then they fought out. That took care of those four. They just kind of fought and they went off from there. And then it was just Solo and Cody for a while until Jacob Fatu showed up.
and man, this Jacob Fatu guy is so fucking good. He's so fucking good.
He
There's
is
something just different about that guy. He is an animal.
the Samoan werewolf, they call him.
Yeah, and that's an appropriate name. He basically took himself out of this thing though, because when he goes to put Cody through the announce table, he dings his leg and he's out of it. So he takes
Now,
himself out.
I wonder how badly he got hurt for real.
I
Because
think
I
it was
noticed he was
planned.
sitting and not even trying to get up.
I think it was planned. I didn't see any doctors over
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah. Well, if he got hurt, well, I'm sure we'll hear something about it. Yeah.
and then Solo just beats down Cody some more, and it looks like Solo might actually be about to win. And then all of a sudden you hear this music and you see the graphic, and the crowd cannot contain themselves any longer.
Yep.
It was like a volcano erupting.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns comes out, and this place goes absolutely fucking apeshit. Would you
That's
say
right.
that was a Road Warrior pop for Roman?
Oh yeah. Yep. They were very, very glad to see the tribal chief, the real tribal chief.
And he wore a shirt that said OTC, no doubt standing for Original Tribal Chief.
Oh yeah.
And Roman was not fucking around. Definitely not getting paid by the hour here.
That's right. He went right to work on Solo
He
Sokoa.
he he sped walked down to the ring,
Yep.
got in the ring. Solo looked like he was seeing a ghost, didn't know what the hell was going on. And before Solo knew what happened, he got punched in the mouth.
Yep.
And then he got speared and then crossroads. And then this match was over. And Roman stood on the ramp looking really, really upset.
Yep.
Russ, was it me or did Roman look really conflicted about what he did?
What's that?
Didn't Roman look conflicted at the end of the show?
Yeah. Like
Like,
he's not really trying to help Cody. He just wanted to get even with Solo. He just couldn't do it without benefiting Cody Rhodes. And he looked at him and kind of nodded.
like, I'm not done with you yet. He kind of had that I'm not done with you yet
Right.
look. That you think I'm done with you? Like, and I don't doubt that Roman will be on SmackDown Friday and will probably say something to the effect of, Cody, I wasn't trying to help you.
Yeah.
I was after him. You were in my way. Because you know how Roman can kind of spin things.
Yeah.
And he will spin things. We've seen how did Roman keep Sami Zayn in the bloodline for so long? He spun a web.
That's right.
And well, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Good ending. Doing good overall, except for the one match right in the middle. The
It
first
was
three and the last
horrendous.
three matches were good.
What
I
was your
like
match of the night?
what's that?
What's your match of the night?
Um, I would say CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
I would agree with you if there was color. I think that match needed color. I think that match needed some blood because of how heated it was and all that. I just hope Punk didn't get hurt again because he looked great tonight.
Yeah,
My match of the night was probably Cody and Solo because I think it was what it needed to be, if that makes any sense. Which was a progression of every storyline possible.
right.
Of
Exactly.
every main event angle on SmackDown, it all got pushed forward tonight, and it needed to.
Yes. I thought it was a very good show, though. I enjoyed it. I'm more excited about the storylines going forward into Raw and SmackDown coming out of this pay-per-view. Much more so than there's not a lot of storylines leading up into AEW All In that I'm really
Yeah, we're
super
going to talk about
thrilled
that.
about. You know,
Do
the
we want to
that
talk about All In? I know this is WWE
oh
centered, but
yeah. I
February.
just much more excited in the storylines going on in WWE right now.
Oh, me too. Let's take a look at that All In card. There's 5 matches right now. I guarantee you this doubles in the next 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, there'll be at least 10 or 15 by the time they get done.
So it's going to be Tony Storm against Mariah May. We already knew that.
Right?
But do you think there's going to be a stipulation added to that? I think there almost has to be.
Yeah, could be.
Uh, MJF versus Will Ospreay for the what MJF is calling American Championship. Those two just had like an hour long incredible match on Dynamite a couple weeks ago.
Right?
So this match will
Yep.
be more of
I
the
liked
same.
it. Yep.
Jack Perry versus Darby Allin. Mercedes Monet and Britt Baker. Maybe not. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then title versus career, Danielson versus Swerve. On the Britt Baker thing, her and MJF did get into a verbal exchange
Yeah.
backstage a few weeks ago. Britt Baker is suspended. And as of now, she's still, I guess, going to be on All In, but I won't be surprised if that changes.
Yeah. It's
Have,
unfortunate.
have you read about this verbal exchange?
I haven't read actually what was said or anything, just that something happened and went from the women's locker room to through MJF's girlfriend. And said that they used to be friends, but they had some kind of falling out allegedly in the last year or
Yeah,
so.
I don't know what the hell's going on there. That was the weirdest story I've read in a long time where I was just like,
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. So it must be real life rather than a wrestling storyline.
wait a second. that doesn't that doesn't make any sense. Hang on.
I wondered if you'd catch that.
I anyway. So I don't think this show's going to be all that great.
Well, they've got a chance to make it better in the meantime, you know.
I think Danielson versus Swerve is going to be good, but and I think Osprey and MJF is going to be great, but like
That's going to be a title versus career match. If Danielson loses, he will retire. But I think since he's planning on retiring anyway, they're kind of signaling the ending of that one.
yeah. Well, I think Danielson could win the title. I think he should. I think Danielson has been there for 3 years and hasn't won anything. So
Right.
I think he needs this. So we'll see. Russ, overall though, All In does not look like it's going to be the show it was last year.
No,
Overall, right now.
not yet. I mean, they got a few weeks to try to generate some more excitement, but well, we'll see.
Can I talk about stupid booking?
Yeah,
Because we talk about stupid booking all the time, where something just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why are they having Danielson talk about his contract on television?
I don't know. If everything that he's saying is true, then they've locked into a certain storyline that has to end a certain way at a certain time.
Yeah,
If they're doing that on purpose, I guess that's the way they're writing it, but doesn't make sense.
No, none of it makes any goddamn sense. It's
One
all.
other one other thing I noticed about
And
AEW.
you know what Tony does that bothers the shit out of me before we keep going?
Yeah,
Just to finish my thought here.
sure.
He assumes the crowd is all like hardcore IWC, know when every contract expires fans.
Right,
But when Danielson said in the ring this past Wednesday, and my contract expires today, there was a gasp, a shrill.
right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like Greenville could not believe it. I don't know, man. What the hell? Like,
Somebody,
really?
yeah. There was a tag
What?
team that was on NXT that showed up in AEW and had a pretty good match with FTR. And I forget what they're calling themselves now, but they used to be the Mansoor and the models and all that, you know.
Oh, Mason Mansoor? Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that whole model gimmick.
They're still doing it.
They've different name. They're doing it, but they had a real good match. I forget what show it was last week, but they had a good match with FTR and lost, but it made them look really good. You know, it's better than they ever looked in NXT. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
So big stars, they're not booking very well, but the minor tag teams are doing okay.
Big stars, they're not even, or the minor tag teams, they're not even booking that well. When was the last time the Bucks defended the belts?
I don't know. I can't remember.
They won them in like March,
Yep.
and they
I,
haven't defended them at all.
I think they should. I think they should put the belts on the Outrunners. Hey, those you got to admit those guys are very entertaining.
Oh boy. Well, I I don't know what the hell. Do you talk about this Shane McMahon stuff? This is happening, Russ.
This, you know, it started out as a rumor, and yeah, it was confirmed there actually was a meeting. This is fascinating.
I okay, I'm not reporting this, but from everything I've heard, everything I've read, everything I've seen, Shane McMahon is going to AEW.
It'll be interesting.
No, I'm serious. Shane is it's done. Cause that picture got leaked, dude. You think Tony didn't leak that fucking picture?
Probably on purpose,
Yeah.
just to generate the buzz.
Just to get
Well,
people
I hope he doesn't get injured his first night in, like it happened last time with his dad's company.
I think he's just going to be an on-screen authority figure like a commissioner,
Sure,
which
you
he'd
know,
be good at that.
I don't want him to try doing the kind of risky matches he used to do at his age. You know, why risk breaking his neck?
Yeah. Why risk tearing his quads again?
Yeah, they've been torn so many times they're like tissue paper. That this will be very interesting to see what comes of that.
I something's going to come of this, and it's not going to be
Apparently,
fun.
I also read that you know House of Black was rumored to be on their way out, but apparently now have re-signed. Is that
I
what
don't
you?
think Malachi has.
What's that?
I do not think Malachi has.
Oh, okay, just the other guys.
I think so, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But we'll see.
Well,
But
you know, what's his name? Murphy,
buddy,
buddy. Yeah, he wanted to go back and work with his wife, but according to what I read, if it could be believed, Tony Khan offered him such a ridiculously high amount of money that he said, "Okay, I'll stay here for a couple more years."
Well, do you blame him? If somebody offered you a ridiculous amount of money, I think you'd take it.
That's right.
Um,
Hey,
so
by the
I
way, I saw a fan holding up a sign at the beginning of tonight, SummerSlam, that I thought was kind of weird. It
what
said
Judy Bagwell?
Judy Bagwell approved or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. I thought
Yeah.
that was fucking funny.
I was.
Devlin pointed it out to me very early on in the show, and I was laughing the entire
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
I,
Judy
I
Bagwell lives on. She
doesn't
might end
she?
up being more famous than Buff.
I think she is more famous than Bo.
Well, well, I'll tell you what. Any mother that will save her son's scrotum, I mean, that's motherly devotion right there. You rarely see.
Okay, okay. On a serious
I'm
note,
not
what?
making it up.
No, you're
I'm
not.
not making anything up.
I know you're not. That's the sad part.
I
Um,
know that is just one of the. I hear that and I think, that is really weird. That just seems really, really weird.
sad.
It's weird, man.
I the, I want to ask you this: what would you want to see Shane do if he was to go to AEW?
Right on
As it
screen,
appears,
on screen, uh, authority figure type character.
what's Tony gonna say? Hey, so I'm sick of the fucking elite running around here being assholes.
Right.
So I turned around and sold their stake to Shane McMahon.
Yeah. Or something like that. Yeah.
Something dumb. Or, ladies and gentlemen, I've hired a commissioner because I'm such a fucking dumbass and don't know what I'm doing. Uh, when you just love to hear him say that.
Hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shane McMahon. Couldn't I couldn't imagine how the
It'll
fuck
be
they're gonna do this.
interesting to see if they give him a different name too, or if he uses his real name.
He's gonna use his real name. There's no name value in it if he doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I read somebody was speculating online that he changed his name, which I thought that's stupid. That wouldn't make any sense at all.
You know what would have been really funny is if AEW had Shane McMahon debut on Collision tonight
Oh
because it
yeah,
aired before SummerSlam started.
correct.
That would have been petty as hell, but it would have been hilarious. Also, Collision was taped, so it would have gotten spoiled. But
That's right. That's right. It was on earlier in the day, wasn't it?
yes, it was also taped like weeks ago because they're doing that residency in Texas.
Correct. At the Esports Arena in Arlington, Texas.
And it looks like a studio show. Dude, I hate that place.
Well, it really does give it a very retro look and feel to the
I
show.
hate it.
Plus, they have a whole lot more CMLL type talent, being in Texas, and the fans down there know those guys, whereas all of us guys up here in North America in the Midwest, we don't know who the heck they are. We kind of like we're gringos. If they have a mask on, we think they're all the same guy.
So just some quotes from Triple H from the presser that I'm getting from Devlin here.
All right.
Triple H overall thought the show was spectacular. Hard to blame him for thinking a show that he booked is spectacular. I
Right.
think that's rational. Um, he said Sami Zayn and Bailey are both consistent and always on. You know what you're getting. Yeah, he's right about that. He thought live quote live in Rio was off the charts with as many people out there saying I'd love to be Dom.
I wouldn't.
He says he wouldn't want to be Dom because he's got a lot of ass whooping coming.
Yeah.
That's what Triple H said.
Yep. Mom is gonna have to beat. Well, she'll wait till beat him up on TV.
Uh he was very happy with how the Punk Drew match went, called it a masterpiece,
Yeah,
said it
it
was
was
good to see
great.
Punk deliver. And he called Jacob Fatu, quote, a force of nature, which I think is maybe an accurate way to describe Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
Those are just some news and notes from the presser. Russ, overall, what grade would you give SummerSlam 2024?
I'd give it a B.
I'd give it a B too. I might even go B plus because I thought that Roman return was so fucking great.
It was awesome. Yeah, B plus. Yeah. The only thing that was a big disappointment was the Bailey Nia Jax match.
And the Manscaped ad. I thought that was
Well,
profoundly ridiculous.
the Manscaped ad. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, what the fuck? What is go-? I was like, first of all, Apollo Crews.
Right. And Baron
And then I was
Corbin.
like, wait, Baron Corbin, you're both bald.
Now, when he started, he used to have long hair. He was the lone wolf, Baron Corbin, when he first came in.
I missed that version of Baron Corbin, to be honest with
But
you.
that was a long. It feels like a million years ago now, doesn't it?
It feels like 100 years ago, I'll tell you. But I couldn't believe that fucking Manscaped ad. And I know we talked about it earlier, but what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that was so.
This show isn't sponsored by Manscaped, by the way. We are actively mocking you, Manscaped.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
God. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. We're back on track now that our technical issues are gone. Thank you for.
it's good to be back. Very much so.
All right, folks. You know the deal. Same play, same bad place, same bad channel next week. Go check out everything right here on Lock 22. We will see you then. Have a good week, everybody. Damon, play our fucking.